Hi, I am Veronica. I am a breast cancer survivor, a prevention advocate, and a transformational coach. And I support women who are going through what I've been through, a path I know deeply. Today I want to answer a really important question. People ask me, I've just been diagnosed with breast cancer. What questions should I ask my doctors? Well, I would like to, because there's so many questions you can ask, so I would like to talk about 6 key areas. But let's start with the first and most important thing, and that is you need to start your journey with a clarity. So when you hear the word cancer or the words breast cancer, it can feel like the world stops. Everything becomes blur, and that's completely normal. But your first question can simply be, can you explain what this means for me and for my life? Ask your doctor to break it down in plain language. You are not expected to understand everything all at once, because it is okay to ask them to repeat things, to wait for you to write, make notes and write it all down. But also, you can ask a permission to record the session. Therefore, you can focus on what is being discussed and you can take any notes later. You might also want to ask, what impact will this have on my daily life? Can I still work? Can I exercise? Can I drive? And what about being around people, going to public places? Or will the treatment affect my fertility or hormones? How will my body change? Most importantly, take your time. Even if you feel the doctor is in a rush, because they are very busy. One of the things that surprised me the most when I first went to oncology was how busy the department is. So the doctors are in rush because they have a lot of people to serve. However, this is your time. This is your life, and you deserve space to understand. Second area is to ask about the type and stage. They will probably tell you, but it's the best is to, clarify so that you understand exactly what that means. So what type of cancer it is, what stage is it, and what that means for the treatments. This will help guide the next steps, like I said, which treatments are needed, how urgent it is, and what your outlook might be. So if you ask, is it fast growing or slow growing, that can tell you whether you need to start treatments right away or whether you have a bit of time to explore your options. Because if it's slow growing, there is a chance that the doctor will be willing to work with you if you want to explore some alternative treatments first. If it's aggressive type of cancer and it spreads fast, like it was in my case, I decided to go ahead with the conventional treatment, don't hesitate, and then support my journey with the whole holistic approach. And that helped me to then be able to go through chemotherapy as best as possible and also recover faster. Third area that I would like to mention is you need to understand your treatment options. So what are my treatment options? What do you recommend and why you recommend it? Don't be afraid to ask about side effects, how long each treatment takes, how it might affect your energy, your appearance and your lifestyle, and not only during the treatment, but long term. Because this is your body and your healing, and you have the right to understand every step. If you have time, then it is a good idea to maybe explore to seek a second opinion or to talk to an integrative oncologist, because integrative oncologist is someone who is open to combining the conventional with the complementary treatment. So if you feel like your oncologist is not really open to it, they sometimes aren't, because unless it's been signed off and it's been heavily researched, they don't want to include or cover any of the holistic support and treatments. So that often happens, and that's okay, but you can always ask a second opinion, or you can seek an integrative oncologist who will be the holistic, who will have the holistic approach together with the conventional treatments. So don't be afraid to, question things if you don't feel comfortable. Now, number 4 is knowing who is on your team, because it is very likely that you will be working with more than one person. So ask who will be part of my care team. That might include your oncologist, oncologist, your surgeon or surgeons, a radiologist, and probably a nurse navigator, someone who will help you to coordinate appointments and explain things as you go and you can call upon. So that leads to another great question, which is there a phone number I can call if I have more questions beyond this appointment or if I need anything between appointments and treatments? Knowing who is supporting you and how to reach them helps everything feel a little bit more manageable and a lot scary. So make sure that you save these contacts in your phone. Don't be like me, because after my first chemotherapy, I needed to call the emergency number because I felt really unwell and I felt like I never felt before. And it took me time to actually find the phone number, and I didn't feel like I had a pins and needles and I could see dark in front of my eyes and wasn't able to, go downstairs, get the phone number, and had to ask my mum to get it. So that was my biggest lesson learned, to save the numbers in your phone as soon as possible. It then turned up that it was just a common side effect and it went away in a little while. So I felt much better, in 30-40 minutes time. But it was the first feeling of how it felt in my body, how my body reacted to chemo. So the lesson learned from me, please don't be like me, save all the numbers that you've been given. Number 5 is timings. Ask about timings. It is completely normal to act fast at that moment, but don't be afraid to ask. How soon do you need to start treatment? Do you need to start right away, or do you have time to think? How soon you also likely to see any results? Although they will not be able to guarantee you anything, they will be able to say based on other cases, maybe some guidance, at least, if you expect the result quickly or slowly, or what are usually the response of the treatments in other people. Usually in this situation, because it feels really stressful and it feels like you just can't think straight. And this is the moment when you need to take the step back. You need to find the time to have a bit of time to breathe, research, and get a second opinion if possible. But the main thing, you need time for yourself to process it. Even if it's a half an hour meditation or 2-hour walk in the nature, please do find the time to reconnect to yourself, to help you to center and to make the right decisions for your journey. And like I said, if you have time to get a second opinion or talk to integrative oncologists, please do. It's always better to have more insights. Now, the last one, number 6, is maybe the most important thing after all of what I said, and that is trust your instincts. If anything feels unclear or rushed, speak up. This is your journey, and you need to decide what is best for you based on an informed decision that you are able to make. So make sure you are able to make an informed decisions. Don't rush for just because you feel rushed. Speak up and ask to have a little bit of space, or maybe have a different conversation that will help you to process the information and that will help you to move on to the next steps. So, you can also ask things like, what would you do? You can ask the oncologist or the surgeon, what would you do if you were in my shoes? And ask, are there any complementary or integrative therapies? Not only you should consider, because they're not there to advise you on these, but maybe you hear from other breast cancer survivors that helped him. It's always, even when you ask about complementary or integrative therapies, it's always to be specific. So if you ask, are there any complementary or integrative therapies? The answer will be yes, they are. But, we're not there to prescribe any of that. But if you ask, are there any such therapies that you hear help other survivors and other patients in a similar situation like mine, then you will potentially hear a different answer that might be much useful to you. So the truth is that most oncologists don't talk about the lifestyle changes, unfortunately, not just yet. So you might find that if you ask, is there something that it's good to avoid, that they will tell you, just eat whatever you like. That's what I heard. So don't just rely on one information. They see it from one perspective, but do your research and look at, for example, World Health Organizations and their recommendations and their findings on what type of food is actually being found that might have potential links to breast cancer or cancer in general. So explore things like nutrition, stress management, emotional well-being, and energy healing, because these are things that greatly support every journey. So like I said, I recommend finding an integrative oncologist. You might find these discussions much easier, and if you can connect with someone who's been through it and who is thriving. Do not follow people who will just tell you, oh, you will have these side effects and you will feel this bad and this, the whole life will change for worse. No, because it is all in here. It is all in here. So you need to surround yourself and find people and follow people who's been through this journey and who are thriving and who look healthy and happy and content and who love their life. Because that's essentially where you need to get to. So find a person, a friend, someone on social media you can follow, or someone like a breast cancer coach. Because breast cancer coach is usually someone who has been through this journey and who won't tell you what to do, but will guide you to thrive both during and beyond your journey. So if you've just been diagnosed and you are feeling lost, please know it's okay to ask questions and feel overwhelmed, even if you don't know where to start. So you deserve the answers, you deserve the space, and you deserve the care that sees all of you, not just your diagnosis. So click the link below to download a free guide with 100+ questions to ask when you are diagnosed with breast cancer. And if you'd like more guidance from someone who truly understands what you are going through, I am here. You don't have to walk this path alone. I am here, and there's a whole community ready to support you. Click the link in the captions to download a full list of questions to ask. I am sending a lot of love and healing. Follow lotusjourney.com for more gentle guidance, and please share this with someone who might need it today.